Today is July 17th. It is, I think it's week 5 of the garden tours. Hello. Hi, dude. Yes, Remy's here too. He's sitting on my foot. I think it's week 5 of the garden tours. And so we have a lot of updates. Things have been growing really well since we put all of the trellising and stuff up. So I'm excited to take a closer look. Okay, so this is the garden, what I believe is week 5. I have to double check that. But we have all of our trellising up. We put it up last weekend, and the last tour I kind of had to rush because my phone was dying, so I have a little bit more time on this one. But everything is looking pretty good. Things are getting big. First things first, I want to see if he's still here. I just saw a praying mantis. Oh, I don't see him. He was right at the base of that plant. I don't see him anymore, so I think I missed him. But anyway, we have here the pumpkin plant is doing really well. It's starting to climb really high now that we have it trellised. I'm just kind of like flipping them in and out, weaving them in and out as they grow. These tomatoes, I just kind of tied up to the back of this arch. We'll see how this goes. I think they're going to be competing for space a lot, but we'll see how it goes. This pepper I propped up because it was laying on the ground. All the plants over here were kind of tilted like this because I think the wind was just pushing them over. And so they're all, you can kind of see where they're all bent, but they are propped up now. Peppers are doing really well. We're starting to actually get peppers, so there's a little one right there, but there's even bigger ones than that. So everything is looking good. We have flowers, which is really nice. This is our row of jalapenos. I've never grown those before, so we'll see how they do. The marigolds are looking really nice. These looked awful. All these plants looked awful when I put them in, just because they were in pots for way longer than they needed to be, where they should have been. But things are starting to look good. And I love this. I love this corner here with this is Thai basil. We always grow it. We only eat a little bit of it, but we mostly just grow it just because the flowers are really pretty. But I love this corner. We took our first zucchini off of this plant, I think yesterday. So we are officially going to be having zucchini out of our ears pretty soon here. There's another one we're probably going to take tomorrow. The noodle beans keep climbing up and up, and this one is now taller than I am, goes all the way to there. So as soon as they touch, they go pretty crazy. And then let's see, we have lemon basil there. It just went to flower, and we're okay with that. The eggplants are starting to flower. You can see in there that purple flower. And I got some more in there. Let's see if I can get a good shot of it. There we go. There's flowers in there. This, I believe, I don't actually remember what this is. It might be a pumpkin. It might be a honey nut. I don't really know. Here's a good eggplant flower. They're really pretty. And then we have more tomatoes here. These aren't tied up yet. We have more trellising stuff that we have to do, so I'm going to tie those up. I'm going to do them kind of like this one. I learned this system from Joshua Satin. He has a YouTube video called Trellis to Make You Jealous. So we did this last year and we really liked it. So I'm testing out a couple things this year now that we have more space. And then this guy is doing really well, starting to flower. This one is, I think it's a pumpkin and a Armenian cucumber, but I have to check the tags. Let's see if there's a tag over here. No, I don't see a tag. So we'll find out soon enough, but this is doing really well. Our first zinnia is about to open any day, and I'm so excited because I've really missed my zinnias. And let's see, these guys are doing really well. The okra is doing well. We're starting to actually take okra off of those, so that's nice. those went to seed and or went to flower, and I love them. Oh, Andrew just put sticks here. These were not here a second ago, so this is super helpful. Kind of lean those in and get them to climb just because the trellis is really far away. So this zucchini plant, this thing is massive. It has way too many leaves, and there's a lot going on in there. Let me see if you can see in there. That's a lot. So this whole thing is a lot. I've been trimming everything in the garden to kind of have it so that nothing has leaves that are touching the ground for the most part. But I think I might need to do some extra trimming on this thing because it's wild and crazy. I love it, but I don't know if it's supposed to be that big. The amaranth is really tall, so this is kind of, let's see, it's almost chest high on me. This thing is really, really tall. And it's super pretty. And then over here, all of these tomatoes, we don't think they're doing very well, but they all have tomatoes on them. The plants themselves don't look great. They're really small, and I think even these cherry tomatoes are supposed to be bigger. So I don't know what's going on with this corner, but we got to do some more research on that. And then over here, we have more okra, we have basil. All the basil is flowering just because it's been so hot. So we've been trying to keep up with it, but it might be a lost cause already. And then let's see, peppers. One of these peppers had a big one. Oh, here we go. Let's see, this pepper on here. Where is it? There we go. You can see that. Those peppers there. There we go. So those are doing well. We have a yellow squash here, which we've never grown yellow squash before, so I'm excited about that. And then this bed here. So this bed was the bed that was doing the best when we planted everything, but now everything kind of is turning a little bit yellow, looks a little bit sad. So I don't know if it's getting too much sun at this point, which is highly likely. It's really hot and this gets the most sun out of all the beds. But what is the problem, sir? He probably sees people. He thinks everyone's here for him. The tomatillo is doing really well. That's really cool. Never grown this before, so I really like it. I love these kind of like bell-shaped flowers that it has. It's really pretty. And here we go. So that's most of the garden. And then let me show you the grapes. So we've been eating a ridiculous amount of grapes off this thing. And there's so many more in here. It's kind of crazy. And they actually are really good. So you can see this thing still has so many grapes on it. And we got to a point, oh yeah, there you go. We got to a point where there's only so many we can have in our fridge at one time. But this thing is covered in grapes and they're really good, which is awesome. So we're trying to eat them all. But there's way more than we can get to. But they're really pretty too. Let's see that. But this plant is massive. It's a little droopy right here. We just watered it, so hoping it like perks back up. Let's see what's going on the other side here. It's also just kind of expanding out as far as it wants to. So this whole thing is wild and crazy, and I kind of love it. But yeah, there's so much happening in here. It's awesome because this was here when we got here. Yeah, so it's doing really well. Right. That is this week's garden tour.